47. The Poet of Sad Words, George Mateos. I know there's no death. The soul that dwells above sits by God's side and is enshrined by love, the likes of which in its terrestrial mold it never knew or fancied to behold. The body festers under weight of dirt, from dust to dust, transitioning is short. How can we ever our hearts command to stop the weeping when we mourn the one? A piece of flesh was ripped from heart in vain to make it suffer even greater pain. You alone could cure bleeding sore. Alas, you're gone, departed, you're no more. But wait, there's no death, my poet, you will live. Your soul is free from agony and grief, but still I weep for him who fled from pain. It'll be a while before we meet again. Tomorrow has arrived, it's here to stay, the one you wrote your verse for yesterday. Oh, poet, did you know that tomorrow will last for eternity and cause more tears to spill? You used to bitterly your solitude deplore, regretting no one to knock at your front door. Yet in my dreams I worked my knuckles sore when desperately knocking at that door. Behind that door, in broken mirrors' shards, your heart was screaming, being torn apart. I heard your footsteps slowly approach, and poet's hand the copper knob would touch. I stared intensely at the polished wood. The door was opened, and there the poet stood, his hair touched by gray of years before, his posture burdened by the weight of lore. My dear bard, please wipe away the tears of one who came to know hate in early years. My love for you I'm coming to declare, that's born of poets' words filled with despair. The words my heart can fully understand, as if I wrote them by my own hand. I later learned that poet's own torment gave birth to words that I have come to covet. The heart that learns of hate in early years can't help but ache and shed unending tears. My heart, held captive by your words for evermore, weeps over them its own pain galore. From distant lands, from valleys of the east, I sent my love to you through ocean's mist. But walls of home, where solitude once reigned, stood firm and wouldn't let it penetrate. My poet, once you said you never felt God's hand in chapel on your shoulder laid. Instead, Lord laid a stone on your poor heart, to make sure it'll be hard with words to part. So those words that burdened heart escaped broke other hearts and people's feelings shape. The only price for man's eternal life is bitter pain and never-ending strife. The kind of pain that burns like fire inside, and burns one up with nothing left behind. That's why you hurt as if the world's distress in its entirety on poet's shoulders rests. The poet of sad words, you gave your hand, and on my knees you let me humbly stand. The very hand that wrote undying verses that broke my heart in tiny bleeding pieces. And then my lips touched poet's pallid skin, like icon in a church. His fingers were so thin. George Mateos, now that you soar with angels up above, you know that for you he saved his greatest love. You've earned your greatness. Now know the truth. You are immortal in heaven and on earth.